but I'm scared. I'm a mess. I got my sprained ankle.
That's the whole point of this fight. It creates conversation, barbershop conversations, taxi conversations, airplane conversations, and that's what we want. The more people talking about the fight.
The arena shifted from a roar of applause to a shocked silence and back again within a handful of rapid, heartbeat-length exchanges. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul was framed as a meeting of generations. A decorated heavyweight searching to reassert himself against a social media-born fighter who has spent years converting spectacle into sporting legitimacy. When the final bell sounded, the internet erupted. Clips, instant reactions, and opinion surgeons dissecting the bout frame by frame. In the hours that followed, both men finally addressed it. Honest, restrained, and defiant. The night stood larger than any single name written on a scorecard.
At the end of the day, I'm a kid with a big heart that wants to change the world, disruptor, and I never took no for an answer, and I'm just chasing my dreams, having fun, and living the American dream, really. It's a testament to hard work, and every single day dedicating yourself to a craft, pushing through when you don't want to be there, and it all pays off in the long run, and believing in yourself, setting goals that people think are impossible. That's really what my story is all about.
There is a particular quiet that settles after major boxing nights. Not silence itself, but the loaded pause before order forms from chaos. Corners checked vitals, physicians made their rounds, and both teams withdrew behind closed doors. When statements reached the public, they felt intimate and unfiltered. Admissions of exhaustion, sharp respect, and the controlled anger only athletes truly carry. Joshua's first words sounded like a man inventorying what the bout had taken and returned. The missed positions, the rounds that slipped away, the moments destined for years of scrutiny. Paul's opening remarks, balanced between bravado and bone-deep candor, leaned into the emotional climate of the fight, the isolation, the noise, the fractured judgment that follows every disputed exchange. Both stressed the same point. Respect for the occasion, gratitude toward the crowd, and a desire to allow the fight to live in memory before being flattened into a single line on a judge's sheet.
He has a very side-on stance, tries to practice the Philly shell, and I think Jake has a chance that is slim to none.
Appreciate it.
All good?
Thanks, Walter.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Yeah. Heavyweight of the world!
Yeah, can you get my back? For the first week of sparring, I had to get comfortable in there and let things slow down and feel the power out and get the confidence to slip, catch, move.
Before the showdown, forecasts were everywhere and sharply divided. Bookmakers and many analysts positioned Anthony Joshua as the favorite, listing him as the expected victor across most wagering markets. That view echoed through major outlets and betting platforms. From an analytical angle, CBS Sports and Sportsline combat analyst Josh Nagel leaned toward Joshua, with Nagel's primary prop selections including Joshua to win by TKO or KO, reflecting his resume against elite opposition and proven finishing ability. Yahoo Sports contributors also pointed to Joshua as the most likely to end matters early, noting how the referee and the magnitude of the event could favor the seasoned heavyweight. Still, consensus never fully formed. Boxing's outspoken figures and several high-profile fighters offered dissenting takes. Tyson Fury, never reluctant to stake both words and money on belief, openly predicted Paul could land a punch that alters everything, even saying he would wager heavily on Paul in theory. That confidence from Fury fueled the idea that surprise remained firmly on the table. Dana White, characteristically blunt, delivered a frank assessment that blended doubt toward crossover storylines with reluctant respect for Paul's nerve and stepping into heavyweight stakes, a signal that the sport's gatekeepers were watching, evaluating, and occasionally taken aback. Then there were the fighters themselves. Jake Paul, after years of declaring his mission to change the rules, publicly called his shot and insisted Anthony Joshua could not knock him out, projecting confidence on platforms like Pat McAfee's show and throughout early media appearances. That pre-fight tension mattered. When an underdog carries believable supporters and the favorite has analytical giants behind him, the bout gains a cinematic lift that makes every round feel monumental. Afterward, the analyst class did what it always does. They rewound narratives, reinforced what still fit, and highlighted moments that defied expectation. Some former champions and active fighters conceded they misjudged the pace. Others treated the fight as instruction. Amir Khan, for example, spoke about the blow that could halt influencer boxing, praising Joshua's capacity to impose traditional knockout power and discipline on a modern spectacle. Additional fighters turned to social media to discuss adjustments, ring control, and the rare stretches where crowd energy flipped assumptions. What stood out was the candor. Few tried to mask being wrong. Instead, many used the bout to discuss craft. How to prepare for a social media-born fighter sharpened by rounds with experienced fringe professionals. And how a veteran like Joshua must ready himself for both physical danger and narrative pressure. The kind that can influence officials, broadcasters, and momentum itself.
Well, it's very tough to say something about Joshua or Jake. You know, I'm waiting for this fight because I'm so excited. But, you know, Jake have a lot of chance to win. And a lot of people think he not, but I believe in Jake. I mean, Joshua is the best fighter and have a lot of experience in boxing. You know, he's a heavyweight guy, but Jake improved a lot, and the people need respect both. You know, because it's not everybody have a, sorry my English, but have a balls for come inside the ring and fight.
From the opening bell, the rhythm was sharp and electric. There were bursts that hinted Paul's awkward, aggressive angles could find their way through. Some rounds resembled classic heavyweight boxing, distance control, structured jabs, and heavy power punches. Moments that seemed ordinary on replay felt massive in real time, a tight uppercut that made the crowd gasp, a brief stumble that altered the balance of an entire round. Afterward, both fighters addressed those pivotal instances with respect. Joshua's team emphasized the success of his jab and power sequences. Paul's corner highlighted gritty inside work and a composure in the ring that contradicted his unconventional route into the spotlight. Each side focused on what the bout truly took from them. Fresh respect, new uncertainty, and a collection of unanswered questions. If the ring was where the contest unfolded, social media was where it gained immortality. One exchange, a clean clash, or a near fall became the night's shared language. That moment looped endlessly for millions. Analysts, celebrities, and everyday fans debated technique, replay after replay. Memes transformed the split-second expression into endless waves of opinion. Both fighters leaned into that space. Brief, unfiltered clips from the locker room or en route to medical checks pulled fans into the inner circle. The result was a blend of authenticity and commerce in one breath. Personal, confessional post-fight content persuaded viewers they were witnessing something genuine rather than a carefully managed storyline. Trainers from both sides spoke with precision. Joshua's corner pointed to lapses in distance control and the need to keep a tighter guard against unusual angles. Paul's team praised endurance and resolve, while conceding strategic gaps against an opponent with Joshua's shot selection. Both camps framed it as education. Neither used the platform for theatrics or excuses. The breakdowns were methodical. Why a round shifted, how tempo stressed a strategy, and what adjustments could be made next. Their remarks read like assignments the fighters will carry into future training camps.
Those big discrepancy in skill, sometimes the better fighter carries the other fighter or maybe goes a little easier. Is there any part of you that maybe thinks that way, or are you going in there 100%?
Zero part of me. And it's not even that it's Jake. It's just, do you know, I was actually looking at myself today. I'm a very respectful guy, brought up by a good family, but if I can you, I will you. That's just how I am. And this is just the job I do, so.
The bout moved real commercial needles. Betting lines shifted during the fight and throughout the following weekend. Pay-per-view figures were scrutinized and promoters eyed rematches with intensity. Networks like CBS and other wagering analysts released prop bets and adjusted odds live. A reminder that modern boxing blends competition with data-driven entertainment. Executives and broadcasters will be tracking replays and subscription surges for weeks. A night charged with drama holds value. It bankrolls upcoming events, draws in casual viewers, and can reshape a fighter's market appeal overnight. While analysts debated technique, fans debated meaning. Social platforms filled with confessions and long-held loyalties. Veteran boxing followers complained about spectacle. Younger audiences embraced the mix of content and skill, and neutral viewers admitted they were swept into the drama. The common thread was clear. This was an experience people wanted to say they witnessed. Both fighters thanked the audience in separate messages, recognizing that win or lose, the show only exists because people tuned in and cared. Talk of a rematch started in the arena and never fully faded. For promoters, the logic is simple. Dispute drives profit, and a second fight markets itself. Publicly, both camps stayed deliberately vague, a familiar tactic that maintains leverage while the market tests demand. Anyone who knows boxing economics understands that a rematch becomes unavoidable when a first meeting raises more questions than it answers. Both men kept the option alive, meaning the narrative remains unfinished. Not even close. At the same time, each camp stressed health in their statements, citing monitoring and precautionary evaluations. Important reminders that beyond storylines and revenue, long-term well-being comes first. Those health-focused comments cooled much of the heated online debate and redirected attention to recovery and planning. Fights have a way of reshaping stories. For Joshua, this night adds to a career marked by championships, difficult losses, and reinvention. For Paul, it stands as a high-stakes test for a path built on attention and legitimate results. Both referenced legacy. One described it as a long journey. The other treated it as immediate labor. On one point they aligned. Legacy is defined by response. How they act in the coming weeks and months, in training, media, and competition, will likely matter more than any single result. By night's end, both spoke with humility mixed with resolve. They thanked their teams, acknowledged pain and frustration equally, and pledged to return to the gym with purpose.
Is that they're talking about is a massive bonus. So for me, I'm not worried about what people think about the integrity side. I'm more worried about, are they talking? And as long
This was a deliberate, human decision. This contest, Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, will linger in memory. It will be clipped, categorized, studied in gyms, and debated by commentators for years. The initial remarks from both fighters achieved something important. They centered on what the fight demanded of them and what it gave back. Knowledge, respect, and momentum toward the next chapter. Whether the chapter opens with a rematch, a renewed heavyweight run, or different opponents altogether, one truth stands out. Both men will be measured less by one outcome and more by their next moves. But what are your thoughts on the result? And who should Jake Paul face next to further demonstrate that he belongs as a real boxer? Share your views in the comments and stay tuned for the latest boxing news.